Oh, the power of love. We've got nothing but love for our listeners today. Call us.
I just have to say, confession, one of my favorite comedy movies ever. I was in high school when this came out. I love it. I watch it every time it's on.
Every time it's on, this is the guy who doesn't have a cell phone. He forgets that we have live streamed movies, and he can watch it every night if he wants. No, it's kind of fun with the commercials sometimes, right? Gives you time to get up and get popcorn. You got to get up and get a bowl of ice cream now and then, bowl of popcorn.
Diet Coke, like Coach would do.
Diet Coke and Air Pop popcorn. I busted him one night real good for that. Anyway, we got 2 left on the Fantasy Pro Avoid 'em for next year. Okay, 2, real quick. Quarterback, dog killer, number 7 of the Eagles. That wasn't too hard to guess.
Who?
The dog killer, number 7 of the Eagles. But that's not all.
I thought you said Doug Killer.
No, the dog killer.
Who the heck is he?
But that's not all. He's also not much of a runner anymore. Rushing attempts in 2011 were down from 112 games of 2010 to only 76 in 13 games.
Plus, he's getting hurt when he runs now,
and that's probably why he's not rushing so much. I think he's a little bit over
a little bit over the hill.
That's number 2. Let's avoid him.
You say he's dogging it?
No, he's dog killer.
Oh,
yeah, he's dog. But got it.
Pay attention.
I'm quick that way. And number 1, a player that I'm really not familiar with, but this came, and I want to give kudos and credit to Walter Football, where I got these fabulous picks, and obviously filtered them for you with my extreme
with your
NFL
brain filter?
Intellect. Yes, because if your brain's not in the game, you got to get your head in the game. That's why we're called head games. You got to get your head in the game, whether it's life, football, whatever. Okay, number 1.
Yes.
Do we have a drum roll?
Yes.
Number 1. Okay. Wes Welker. Christian's like shaking his head. No, I don't have time for that. Wes Welker, wide receiver of the Patriots. I know. What? But he's just a slot receiver. This is the info I get on the street.
I don't
Both
care.
guys.
He gets a lot of yards and scores.
But he's just a slot receiver, right? So no doubt he's great in New England. But would he be half as effective in a normal offense with an average quarterback? I'm doubting it.
That doesn't matter. He's in New England.
Exactly.
But, surprise, surprise, aside from Brandon Marshall, no receiver has more drops in the past 2 years than Walker with a fabulous quarterback. No receiver has more. Now, come on.
I'm going to disagree with this strongly. He always gets over 100 catches a year.
But most of his passes are short passes as well. He's limited. I know it's a surprise, but did you know he had that many drops?
Oh, yes, I did. But look at his yards, look at his scores. I disagree. Whoever wrote this, I just strongly disagree with it.
Well, we will see.
You know, it's really
My
weird.
Walter has never let me down.
When she was talking about Brandon Marshall, I was saying, yeah, I was ready to say, yeah, but he's really no Wes Welker. I mean, you have to have somebody that you can count on.
Yeah, you do. You do. And this is the Patriots. Come on now.
Do you know who? I'll tell you what. The one of the best picks in the NFL draft was in Indianapolis after they picked Luck.
Yep.
They picked his tight end from Stanford.
Oh, yeah?
That was another one of their picks.
Yeah.
Because this guy caught it was like 80 passes last year or something.
Kobe Fleener, yeah.
Kobe Fleener. And he knows where he is all that. I mean, they played together for 4 years. You know, it's like playing in the backyard with your brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that was a great pick because here's a guy that you can count on. If you're not sure where to go, if your progressions break down, you always know where he is. I mean, I thought it was a great draft pick.
Yeah, Colts are the winners on that. I think they're the winner of the draft right now. I think they're in the first standing. They did really well. So anyway, we got an entertaining little segment.
Yes,
we're going to play real quick. Talking about getting your head in the game and keeping it there. This fella gets up every day and he has to focus every minute to keep his head in the game. It's Brian Scoop Nemeth. We're breaking down stigmas here. This is a very entertaining little snippet. So take it away, Scoop.
How cool would it be for Bri and Lauren to be the next great comedy duo? Miller is a local comedian. He has his comedy fiesta 2 Thursday nights a month at the Voodoo Comedy Club. Moreover, Miller is the boyfriend of Bateman. He puts in his 2 cents on Bateman and Gardner's behalf.
That'd be pretty amazing balls, because most comedians are hideously ugly. Take Chris Rock, for example. Not a handsome guy. Louis C.K.'s fat and middle-aged. If you had two women that hot who could do comedy, I think they'd rule the world.
Peter Burns of Mile High Sports Radio is a fellow sportscaster of Lauren Gardner. She has worked at Mile High Sports. When it comes to two gorgeous women making people laugh, Burns could not agree with Miller more.
Kind of a goofball, and I think that's why people like her so well, is that she's just one of the guys, but obviously a very, very good-looking girl and real smart. She's a pretty dynamic character.
When it comes to watching the news on television, it's just too dark and depressing. Moreover, Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert of Comedy Central take current events and they make fun of them. When it comes to making people laugh and reporting the news at the same time, how can Lauren and Brianne triumph over Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart?
Those two guys are geniuses in terms of political comedy. I mean, they really own the market on satire. Jon Stewart's a genius, so, I guess if she did it in a bikini, and she did it from a woman's perspective, then she could compete. But, those guys pretty much have it cornered.
Chris Miller's idea for Brianne Bateman. It matches Peter Burns' experience of being around Lauren Gardner. Scantily clad or not, Gardner and Bateman are both never afraid to say anything, unlike those fancy reporters.
I think it's kind of, making fun of the different stories, and I think that's probably a pretty cool thing, is if you just try to come up with jokes, I think it's very difficult because your timing has to be impeccable. It's very difficult to do. But when people are sarcastic, like Jon Stewart, like Colbert, like any of those guys, sarcasm, you take it what outlandish is being done in the news, in the media, and sports, and if you make fun of it, people like it because they're thinking the same thing, just reporters are a lot of times afraid to say it. I don't think Lauren's afraid to say really anything when it comes to stuff like that.
Whether they're reporting on a story or entertaining fans at the comedy club, two former Broncos cheerleaders, Brianne Bateman and Lauren Gardner, are masters of their comedy domain. Not that there's anything wrong with that, yada, yada, yada. I'm Scoop Nemeth.
Yada, yada, Scoop. Thank you for that insight and that very entertaining little snippet about Brianne and Lauren. We'll be waiting to see where their show pops up. I hope they do get together and do something fun. They can come right on here and do it, too. They can come on our show and be funny. We would love that. All right. Coach is raising his eyebrows. He wouldn't mind that at all.
No.
So we've got Tony coming in any minute now. Going to talk about the NFL draft a little more and what the heck were they thinking. And Broncos are doing well. I'm not sure they're doing great. How are they doing?
I like some of the Broncos picks. The one I didn't. There's some teams that I don't understand, but the Broncos, I like what they do. I like their offensive thing. Osweiler, I think, is a good pick. I'm not sure they needed to go as high as they did for him.
Yeah.
But I like him.
He's got potential.
Yeah,
you think he'll learn a lot under? Is he similar to Manning?
He's 6'7".
Oh, that's good.
He's got a rifle arm.
Yep.
He played in a pro offense at Arizona State. He ate up Colorado. He just destroyed us.
Yeah.
The problem was he had no supporting cast around him.
Who didn't eat up Colorado?
Arizona,
boom.
Utah,
boom.
Colorado State.
Yeah. Okay. 8-9 teams did.
No,
we should
have beat Washington State. We had a 14-point lead with like 6 minutes left.
They still ate them up, though. The quarterback threw for a bunch of yardage.
Yeah, but the Buffs went out and got some top-notch defensive help. They have a great recruiting class, and they have another recruiting class coming in that's going to be great.
I was going to say, next year's going to be different.
So, next year, at least 6 wins in a bowl game.
Yeah. Well, the Broncos aren't even on of the top 10 draft grades that I've seen.
Right.
They're not even in the top 10. They're like 24th or something.
Yeah.
We got like Colts, Redskins, Vikings, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Really benefiting.
But also those guys had number 1, 2s, and 3s picks.
Well, okay.
We kept trading down. Our first pick was the 36th overall.
Yeah, that's true.
And they got a good defensive tackle. This guy is huge. He's 6'5", 290 pounds, senior from Cincinnati. So I mean, he's a big kid. So
Derek Wolf.
Wolf. And Osweiler's good. Hillman is
that's going to bring
small.
that song back. Who let the dogs out?
Woof.
Woof.
Ronnie Hillman, the running back. He's from San Diego State. He's 5'10", 192. He's a tough kid, and he'll probably make the team, but I'm not sure how good he is. The other guy they got was Marvin Ingram. No, that's the other guys. That's the bad guys. I don't want to talk about the bad guys. The Chargers. Omar Bolden, I don't know much about him. He's a cornerback from Arizona State also. So
Wolf, I want to talk about Wolf a little more. Now, Wolf was kind of a sleeper. He was kind of one of the sleepers in the draft.
Well, not really a sleeper, but he wasn't picked to go as high as he did.
Yeah.
But you got
What'd we get him for?
We traded down.
Yeah.
From we gave New England our pick and moved down to 36. Now the problem I have with giving up New England's pick.
Yep.
They drafted Hightower, which is an unbelievable linebacker from Alabama, which we could have gotten. So so I mean, we'll have to see how Wolf does. I mean, we need help in the middle to go with Elvis and Von Miller, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they did. And then Osweiler, who else? Hillman, Bolden, Arizona State. Philip Blake, drafted out of Baylor, 6'3", 214, a center, because I think Walton is not, they're not all that sold on the center they have.
Right.
And then they got another defensive end, Jackson, 6'5", 283 from Tennessee. So in the next round we have is in round 6, pick number 18. Now they kept trading their picks, going higher, and picking up extra picks.
Yeah.
So apparently what the Broncos said and thought is everybody we want is still on the board, so we can pick up extra stuff if we go down.
Right.
And
how important is the draft? I mean, really, nature nurture, right? Like if you're in a good team with a strong foundation, strong coach, don't you think that's more important?
Well, not really. You've got to have the physical ability.
Well, yeah, you got to have the physical ability, but you got to be put in the right place too, at the right time.
But you're talking 272 players in the draft, and probably 150 of them will actually make a team.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you look back on the drafts from years before, this was really sad. I went back for a couple of years on the Broncos and where they are now. I mean, there's people that are no longer for like 4 years or even on the team.
Yeah.
Which
right.
is and that's not just the Broncos. That's a lot of people. I think the Patriots had the most. But yeah, you go back and see what the 07 draft is.
Oh right. Who's going to remember these people?
09. There's the 09 draft for the Broncos. We have 3 people.
Yeah. This is not television.
No, I'm showing you. There's no Show Marino, who should be gone this year.
No Sean.
Ayers is there, and David Burton, number 4th pick. Everybody else is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, so you pick. What, they have 9 guys, 8 guys, 9 guys, and only 3 of them are still still around.
Right. Okay. And this is my. I got something to say.
Well,
what was Seattle and Pete Carroll thinking? Pete. I call him Pete.
Because you're old friends.
Okay. Because I'm going to talk about that, and you're going to give me your input on that.
Right.
And Absolutely Sports coming up right now, right after this messages from our sponsors. What were they thinking? And we'll go into that. And because I got a couple questions, you helped clarify a lot of stuff for me, so I got a couple questions about a couple teams. You. Thank you.
I'll tell you how to bet on games. At least I can do.
Exactly. At least you could tell me why.
Exactly.
You're listening to Head Games on Mile High Sports. Tune in next week. We're going to have another wonderful episode of Head Games.
And
we'll be
tuned.
back in 1 minute or a couple minutes with Absolutely Sports. You're listening to 1510 AM, 93.7 FM. Get your head in the game and keep it there with Head Games. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
You troubled by your golf game? You need to improve? This is the coach, and I got a custom-made set of clubs from Dimension Z Golf, where they are fitted and made especially for you. You'd be amazed on how different it feels. It improves your game. I felt like I've been playing wearing shoes that are 3 sizes too big. My game improved 6 strokes. Now you can get custom-made clubs from Dimension Z. Check out their website, DimensionZ.com, or go to my website, CoachSportsRadio.com, and click on the Dimension Z logo. Or ask to try one out. They are great clubs. That's Dimension Z Golf.
A cyclist dream come true. Cervelo, Specialized, Trek, Orbea, Serrata, Seven, Yeti, and more, all under one roof. At Wheat Ridge Cyclery, we've got it all, including 7-time Tour de France racer and Olympian Ron Kiefel as our captain. Wheat Ridge Cyclery on West 38th Avenue employs 2 of only 38 master fitters in the world. Family owned and operated in the same location since 1973, Wheat Ridge Cyclery is the largest single store in Colorado. Come in for a visit or call 303-424-3221.
Average savings is $1,000 a year per client. Do I have your attention now? LF Insurance has been doing it right in Jefferson County for 40 years with Mark Plummer and Coach Bob Lead at the helm. It's not too good to be true. It's LF Insurance. Commercial, auto, home, or health. They do it all and save you money. Call for your free assessment and tell them the Masher sent you. 303-422-2018. Again, that's 303-422-2018. You're going to love what you hear.
Mountain bike hut trips. Hey, write this down. You're going to want to visit this website, backcountrybiker.com. That's backcountrybiker.com in Fruita. They offer self-guided, hut-to-hut mountain biking trips through the canyons of western Colorado. And the really cool thing is they move your gear to the huts so you can travel light on the single track. When you get to the huts, you'll have fresh food for the grill and cold beers to cap off a hard day's ride. And it's all included. A perfect adventure without the hassle. Check out backcountrybiker.com and listen for our upcoming trip giveaway.
Attention basketball fans, it's time to dig in for Denver Nuggets playoffs. Tune in tomorrow immediately following the game for a special 1-hour post-game show. Don't miss out as Altitude Sports brings you in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and all the highlights from Game 1 of the Nuggets-Lakers showdown. For hometown coverage on your hometown teams, Altitude has you covered. Altitude Sports, your high-definition home of the Denver Nuggets. For the inside scoop, be sure to follow Altitude on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, I'm Jake Jabs. We do things differently here at American Furniture Warehouse to ensure that you, our customers, are receiving the absolute lowest price possible. American Furniture Warehouse runs mean and lean without any gimmicks. We are Colorado-owned and operated for over 30 years, with the money staying right here in Colorado. So this year, live better for less at American Furniture Warehouse, where you make beautiful homes happen for less every day.